Hello, everybody!
Hello!
We are the Grumble Gamers Podcast, the official Grumble Gamers Podcast. I am Chris.
I didn't realize it was so official.
The official unofficial.
Oh, I'm Witchley.
And we are on episode 5 of our podcast. We're back. Last episode we did our games that we've played so far up to 2021.
Yes we did.
But now we are going to be talking about the remainder of the year, like we said we would.
Wow, you mean like the games that haven't come out yet?
Yes, of 2021 that are scheduled to come out, that are coming out this year, but that could change. Just want to let you know, a Cabbage Patch disease is out and about still, and there's this new variant of it where it's called the Cabbager Patch disease.
Cabbager Patch? Yeah, it's really affecting our particular county at the moment.
So these dates could change, but at the moment they are concrete enough where they actually have a specific release date. So that could change, though. I don't want to promise that these will come out by the end of the year.
But
that
as of this moment, these are the set dates.
Yes. So but we did say at the very end of our last podcast we have a guest star. And who is that guest star but
Ben Legend! Come on, Ben.
Don't be shy.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Good morning today.
It's going great. Now, Ben has been on our channel quite a bit over the last year and a half, but not a lot of people probably know about him as much. So how about...
Unless you love the Forest series they did, Grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two of my favorite series on the
Some
channel.
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh yeah, those are great.
So let's just introduce you. Who are you? How did you find us on the channel? And how did you come? I don't know.
Yeah, Ben, who are you and what are you doing?
Well, guys, first of all, thank you so much for letting me on the podcast. It's truly an honor. I've never done anything like this before. It is extremely humbling to me, and I appreciate you guys letting me on and getting to discuss some awesome topics with you today.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Video games.
Yes. And, basically just the gist of who I am is my name's Ben. I will be 38 in 2 weeks, yay age. And I'm just a normal guy, and I had some personal issues when I was a few years ago, and when I was kind of in a little ho-drum moment, I was kind of scanning around and I saw you guys on YouTube, and I just loved your wholesomeness and crazed manic energy and Taylor's good Lord, please calm the hell down, abilities. So it was such a wonderful dichotomy between both of you that I started subscribing, and I became a huge fan. And I didn't realize exactly how great you guys were until I got to know you, and you welcomed me into your family so quickly and so amazingly that you really did a number on my mental health in such a positive way, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy to even be a small part of the Grumble Gamers to this day, and unfortunately there has been some, ups and downs in my social life again, but if it wasn't for you guys, I'd probably be in a different place right now, and it's been so great. I'm from Louisiana. It's a very backwoods town I live in. I won't divulge that, but it's very quiet here. It's very religious based. We have our share of Republicans, and it's very, very hard for guys like me in this area to kind of express or have friends that really have that nerdy background or whatever, that I can't really talk to many people about my love of comics or my love of art or video games and stuff down here, because it's usually mostly just who bought the biggest pickup truck, who decided to eat the most biscuits with gravy that morning. So it's quite an adventure to be able to branch out and find guys like you, and it's wonderful. And I never thought I'd ever be a part of something like this, and it's just an amazing way that I've got to see the channel grow. You know, I'm so happy to be a part of your co-starring, and I look forward to see what the future brings, guys. It's going to be an amazing ride. I know you guys recently got was it around 212 subscribers recently?
Yeah.
I think at the time of this recording it's 225.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're climbing.
225, man, and I'm so happy, and I know that you guys have really reignited the creative fire in me. I used to write, and I've expanded. You know, I've tried to give you guys tons of ideas for the channel.
Some amazing ideas.
Yeah, so many, certain ideas which have actually come to light. We prototyped shirts for you guys, and then I've given you ideas for skits, and I'm like I said, it's been fun, man. I proudly admit that I am a member of you guys now. And it's wonderful. Like, I couldn't think of a better situation right now in my life to be than right here on this platform, on this channel, and doing awesome things like being on the podcast with you guys. And I can't wait to see where this place goes as well. I hope you guys get some pretty awesome guests on, and hopefully you won't get sued. Be awesome.
Well, it's nice that we have you a part of our team and our family.
Yes,
so it's
we
really
love
nice.
having you be a part of the Grumble Gamers. You've been a great addition.
If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have half the skits that we've been making, as of recently too, because we've been doing like unboxing videos, and some of those skit ideas are your ideas, and we expand upon them, yes, but most of them are from your fruit. So
I came out of your fruit bowl, Ben.
Right. Oh my God. I hope my fruit is delicious and not rotten. I'm not very privy to eating fruit.
Those skits are actually my mom's favorite videos of ours. So she's like,
Well,
you guys need to do more of those.
I do appreciate the gesture, guys, and like I said, I'm definitely Team Grumble all the way, and I hope to join you guys on this wonderful journey that you've been on together as a unit, and just as a friend and as a brother, and and it's wonderful. I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do down the road. I've already divulged so many things in my head, like the idea of you guys doing seasons, and then making even crazier skits. I have such a plethora of ideas, and I can't wait to share them with you guys, and hopefully the world will take notice and see you guys for the wonderful human beings you are.
I hope so. One day, because we work really hard on it.
Wow.
You
Thank you for all those nice words.
And thank you for the intro. So at least a lot of people know.
Amazing. So I think we should get started on the topic.
Well, before we do that, I do want to mention that this is going to be our 500th episode coming out. So
You're a special guest for our 500th episode.
No pressure on this video or this podcast. So this will go up on YouTube. I say 500th, meaning this is on our YouTube channel. So we've hit 500 finally.
And this is only our 5th episode of
Fifth
the
episode.
podcast?
So it's kind of like 5000. So it just all makes sense. So
no pressure, guys. If I had a tie, I'd be pulling it right now, out of nervousness. But,
But I just want to say thank you guys so much. We would not be able to make this many videos without the loving support of everyone that watches our stuff, listens to our stuff, likes our stuff, and also subscribes. So thank you guys so much. And then also, it's thanks to Ben that I'm even inspired to do half the crap that we do on the channel. It's thanks to my wife who I get inspired to do half the crap we do on the channel. So it's just thanks to all these people that are in our life, and the people that watch us that inspire me to keep going, even though there has been times where burning out happens. Yeah. I still keep going. I feel like we all get burned out. But I understand it now. I totally understand why YouTubers get burned out really quickly.
It's very taxing.
It is. So, but let's dive into all the video games that we are going to be talking about this episode. To start off, how about we start with the one that just came out? I'll let Ben say the first one because it just came out.
Uh-huh.
Then that would be the Metroidvania style shooter Axiom Verge 2, created by Thomas Happ. It is going to be a wonderful. It is a wonderful sequel to Axiom Verge 1, and the story continues quite a few years into the future, and it looks like it's going to be a blast, Craig.
I thought it was a prequel. That's what I heard.
From what I can tell, that it from the little bit of knowledge that I've garnered from it, it looks like it might be. It's possible. I haven't necessarily no, I don't know the connection between both games just yet, but I do know it has something to do with the breach, and that looks like it's going to be quite interesting.
Well, I've never played the first game, so I know it's like a Metroidvania style game. So can you talk about the first game a little bit, because we've never played it, and the second one just kind of shadow dropped this week.
Correct. Yeah, like it didn't have much fanfare, and that was kind of strange. But I do know that it had been in the works for quite some time. First game basically deals with a scientist who's working on like a quantum mechanic theory, and he basically he kind of rips a hole in an alternate reality called the Breach, and he ends up in this alternate alien world where he eventually has to make some hard decisions regarding the inhabitants of that world. I don't want to spoil too much for anybody who actually hasn't played the game yet, but it's got wonderful Super Nintendo-like graphics. The gunplay is amazing. The puzzle part of the game is awesome. Like, there's just so many things you can do with the weapons and the abilities that you gain in order to traverse the environment. And it's just an excellent Metroid style game for people who love that type of throwback gameplay and nostalgia. I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth going back and giving it a shot to play. I think it's on sale right now, and no matter what console you have, there's a version of it. So I would definitely give that a shot before you decide to hop on Axiom Verge 2.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So Axiom Verge came out on August 11th, so just a couple days as of the time of this recording. It's out on Switch, PC, and PlayStation. It's not on Xbox. It's a PlayStation and Switch kind of console exclusivity right now. So I know the first game's mostly on every other console, so just want to let you guys know that's where they are. You guys can go check it out if you want. I know that the creator made the entire game by himself in the first game. I don't know about the second one. Maybe he had a team at that point now to do a second one, but I thought it was kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me of like Undertale, where the creator just did it all by himself, or
and Sally Face, right?
Yeah, Sally Face or Stardew Valley. So like, it's nice that it's crazy. It makes me feel like I'm not doing anything with my life when you have one person work on an entire game by themselves. So it's very interesting. So check it out. Anything else you guys want to talk about on Axiom Verge?
I'm good.
All right. So the next one we are on, which comes out August 16th, is Road 96.
Yes. This one looks really interesting. Carry on.
It's a procedurally generated road trip set in 1996. And you meet incredible characters and intertwined stories. No road trip is going to be the same for everyone. So
that sounds cool.
So, like, if Ben was playing it, he's going to have a different experience than we are, because we're going to be, you are a hitchhiker, you're going to get picked up by cars, you get to talk to all these people, and all these people's stories kind of intertwine on the road, so it's kind of interesting. So, and it just sounds like a really cool concept.
That does.
Was there anything you want to say about it, Ben?
Yes, it looks like the narrative is going to be quite different depending on what type of path you decide to choose. I really like that variable, that everything is procedurally generated. It looks amazing. It looks like it has like a little bit of a post-apocalyptic vibe to it, which is really nice. And overall, I to see something like this debut on the Switch, when Nintendo is usually known for their more family-friendly games, I noticed that they've been kind of loosening their belt on that lately. It looks like it's going to be something that could have a little bit of comedy, but a little bit of dark comedy also attached to it. But I can't wait to see what the game itself is going to play like. I'm ready for it. It's definitely going to be quite an experience, especially with all those different endings and branching paths.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it's going to go, and I'm quite interested in it, and I introduced it to Witchley, and she seemed really interested about it. So.
Oh yeah, I would love to check out that game.
Yeah, and it's also coming to PC and it's Switch, so it's only
Talk about the price.
So the price, I'll let everyone know how much it costs. I think it's kind of funny since it's set in 1996. The cost is $19.96. So just
about
that was a great year.
I was
2 at the time.
I was 2 too. I was still sucking my thumb and pissing the bed. So
Jesus Christ, guys! I was 17 years old. Oh God, I'm old, man. Don't remind me.
Well, we'll stop there with 96. If you guys want to take a look at it, it comes out in a couple more days. I'm planning on us trying to try it out.
Oh yeah, I would love to turn that into like a little video series.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun. So that's on our list. I know that's also on Ben's list, so that sounds really interesting, and I can't wait to see what we do with it. Next episode, next one on the list. Do you want to talk about this one?
Aha! 12 minutes. It comes out August 19th on Xbox and the PC. Oh, it's on Game Pass on the Xbox. Sorry, everybody. An interactive top-down thriller about a man trapped in a time loop. It features James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and one of my personal favorites, William Dafoe. Well, that's it. Let's face it, I love James McAvoy and William Dafoe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's made by Annapurna Studios, or like they're the publisher, but they're publishing this game, and I have been on this game has been on my radar for 2 years. And
I only learned about it during the last E3.
They keep showing this game, and it looks so good, and it's like you're in a time loop, and you have to keep solving a situation where your wife keeps getting killed, I think, in the time loop, or you die. I keep forgetting which one.
Something bad happens
In the 12-minute loop.
It's like a very short Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and you use that knowledge from each experience to progress and solve the situation further. And then they got all these three cast members that are from movies such as Split or Willem Dafoe, Boondock Saints, and Daisy Ridley, who is most known for as Rey from Star Wars. So
the only thing I know her from.
Talk about 12 minutes, Ben.
I find it kind of interesting, Witchley, that you said Groundhog Day, because that's actually one of the movies that the director took inspiration from for the game.
Awesome.
He also took inspiration from the works of Stanley Kubrick, and also another one I'm sure that you're fond of, The Shining.
That's one of my favorites.
He used all these inspirations to create this game, and from the looks of it, it looks like a very intense, dark tale, and it looks like it's going to be quite the story. And in order to enter in the time-based gameplay, even though it's a little bit longer than games like Minute, it's going to evoke the ability to have to make you understand about like things like reactive memory and things like that, and having to remember, oh, this situation happened in this attempt the character was murdered. And as you slowly discover that the mystery as it unfolds, and having to keep going back in that time loop, it really seems like some kind of excellent gameplay, and I can't wait to see how Daisy Ridley and William Dafoe and the rest of the cast bring their wonderful talents to the video game screen. It's going to be amazing.
I'm excited. That's 12 minutes. August 19th on Xbox, PC, and on Xbox Game Pass. So, guys, if you guys want to check it out, please do. We're going to be trying to play it.
Oh yeah,
when it comes out in about a week. So, all right, on to the next one. I'll let you. Actually, you know what? I already had you and Ben do it, so I'm going to do the next one. Arietta of Spirits comes out August 20th. Xbox, Switch, PC, PlayStation, consoles, all of those. We played it as a demo.
Yeah. What was it called?
It was called the Xbox Summer Game Fest.
Oh, that was fun.
So I loved doing that whole. We do it every year now because Xbox does this since the COVID thing.
Yeah, they started last year. You mean Cabbage Patch thing?
Since the Cabbage Patch disease, yes, sorry. But yeah, they've been doing it since last year, where they release like 80 demos and stuff, and then it was nice that we get to highlight games that are just hidden, that could just be,
They are
hidden.
definitely hidden gems.
Yeah, hidden gems. And Arietta of Spirits is one, because when we played it, I got so many like Link to the Past vibes and stuff playing that, because it's a pixelated, top-down slasher. It was an interesting story too, where you're on this islet. Where you're on an island.
Yeah,
with,
after your grandmother passes, like it was a year later.
Yeah, it looks really. It was
You're
really
taking
fun.
care of the property
And then you get to uncover some stuff, and you have some wicked dreams, and it looks really interesting. So I'm really interested to see that game and play it at some point. Do you want to talk a little bit about it, Ben? Do you know about it?
Yeah, I know a little bit about it. It looks like it's going to have some Dark Soulsy type gameplay. I know that the combat is pretty tight. It's going to have, it's going to be like minute-to-minute reaction. The monsters can counter you. They can dodge. The gameplay graphics actually remind me of that game Celeste. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I am, yes.
It was on the Nintendo Switch. It reminds me of that really well, and it looks like all in all, it's going to be quite the heartwarming adventure with all these little characters, and I'd like to see how that storyline plays out, because it definitely seems like it's going to be something that's going to tug on the old heartstrings. And but yeah, going back to what you were saying about the video games earlier, I know that this video games come out, and I know you guys were really hyped about that summer of demos that you guys just checked out. By the way, that is also on the channel if you guys want to check out those demos. But you guys recently just played one recently, Trigger Witch. I know that was a big one for you, man. And shout outs to that game, because I know that you guys were really hyped on that.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the last podcast, that we were really excited for about Trigger Witch, and that was part of one of the demos. There's actually a couple more. Actually, there's like one or two more on this list that we have that were from the demos. So I can't wait to get into it and talk about it a little bit more when we get down there. But yeah, Arietta of Spirits is great. The story, yes, I got to mention the story. Like, just from the demo we played, I was like, oh my god, they're dealing with some interesting tones here.
Yeah.
Especially with like loss and grief, because the whole family was dealing with it, and how do you deal with that? Especially after losing someone that you're so close, like their grandma. So it was really interesting. Really love that. Anything else you want to say about it, honey?
I think we covered the bases.
And we are on to our next topic, which is Ben.
Would be Aliens Fireteam Elite by Cold Iron Studios.
This comes out August 24th. Xbox, PC, PlayStation, not Switch, but just the main consoles that can probably run it on the next-gen hardware. So, talk a little bit about it, Ben. This was your choice.
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because I'm a big Aliens fan. I love the movies. They're so great. They are truly a diamond in the rough. Sigourney Weaver, I mean, come on, man. You can't beat that.
Oh, yeah.
It is such a great series. Well, in certain aspects, I mean, Aliens versus Predator was absolute madness. But regardless of that, it seems that ever since Alien Isolation, the franchise has kind of floated around as far as video games. And I don't think it was Aliens Colonial Marines that gave such a bad taste to this game. And the thing is that Gearbox Studios could have done so much better with it. As a matter of fact, I remember reading an article about that particular game. Some coder found one flaw in the entire code that fixed the entire game. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did, yes. It was kind of crazy. Just one line of code, and it would fix like the AI of the aliens and stuff.
Holy.
Right, and it could have been such an amazing game, and just because of user error and being lazy, that it ruined that franchise for a while until Isolation came out. And now we're getting, once again, another Aliens game, and this one's going to be strictly Call of Duty Bro-y type, shooter, and hopefully this one puts it back on the map, because I do like the Alien series. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Nintendo DS game that came out. It was actually really, really good. And kudos to that. But this franchise has seen its share of terrible games. And it bounces from good to bad, and then bad to, oh my god, why did I put that in my hands? I need to wash my hands. So it's back and forth, and hopefully Fireteam Elite washes that nasty out of everybody's mouths and brings the franchise back to the prestige that it deserves to be.
Yeah, the last game in the Aliens franchise of video games was Isolation, which I found really interesting as a first-person experience, trying to deal with the alien. You can't even fight the thing. You have to hide.
Ooh.
Is
that like sort of like Outlast?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of the Outlast vibe. Yeah, where you can't really fight the alien. You have to just hide and try to get out of the spaceship and stuff.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, which I think might, and this is just hinting at it, but we might, because we've never done it on the channel, we might do it in our October lineup. So just look out for that, guys. So. But yeah, it's really interesting that we got that amazing game, and then before that was obviously Colonial Marines. So I'm hoping it's not like bad, good, bad. And Aliens Fireteam Elite it does seem like an interesting concept. It's a 3-man squad where 3-man multiplayer where you can hop in and you just fight waves of aliens. So it's kind of, and I think it's third person over the shoulder, so it kind of has. It does have some of those vibes of Left 4 Dead. So, anything else you want to say about it, Ben?
Very Resident Evil, like Resident Evil 4-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of that, I know you guys are going to be ramping up with games like Alien Isolation for your October jam. I hope you guys play it with that. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. I think we missed that in our discussions, but that would definitely be an excellent game for the channel for your... for all the Grumble Ghoulies out there to enjoy some spooky games and some scary sights, and obviously watch you, shit your pants, Grace, which is the best thing in the world.
I just love that you said Grumble Ghoulies. That's my new favorite thing.
That's perfect. That's what we need to call it when we go back in October. We will talk about our October lineup in another podcast. I thought it'd be nice to have that as a separate topic, but yeah, I can't wait till we talk about all that stuff. And I think Alien Isolation is going to be one of our games. So look out for that. Alien Fireteam Elite, though, I'm really interested. I'm hoping we can probably get a G3 gameplay on it, where me, Ben, and Liam. Donut. Yeah, and Elvin Donut all play it, and I think that'd be a good kind of episode
to
try.
That.
So yeah, I'm hoping we can. That comes out August 24th, guys. Xbox, PC, PlayStation. Just gonna remind you guys, check it out. Next one on the list, I'm gonna have Witchley say it because she's really excited about this. This is also Ben's pick as well. But what is it? Oh yeah,
Keywe. I mean Keywe. Sorry, I've been playing too much Zelda.
You almost had it.
No, we've been playing Zelda, and we've been playing
Kekwis. That I always want to call them Kiwis, and now when I say the word Keywe, I want to call them Kekwis. All right, but Keywe comes out August 31st on Xbox, PC, Switch, PlayStation.
It's a cute cooperative.
Oh, it looks like you wrote Kate.
Ooh, I kind of did. Sorry. Oops.
Okay, yeah, it's a Kate cooperative postal puzzler. No, it's cute. Starring 2 small Keywe birds, Jeff and
Deborah.
It looked like you wrote Beth for some reason. Working in a whimsical post office. I was going to say photo office. What's wrong with your spelling?
I don't know. Maybe I wrote too fast. I'm sorry. But yeah, this looks really interesting. What did you find so interesting about it, honey?
Well, for one, I just love birds so much. And I learned about kiwis many years ago, and I thought they were the cutest thing ever. So I'm very excited that there's a game where we could be kiwis.
Yeah, the puzzle platform looks kind of cool from the trailers and stuff.
Kiwiing around.
It's thanks to Ben. He's actually the one that sent it to us.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for Ben.
It looks really interesting.
It's
Ben, you
so
want to talk?
Freaking adorable.
Did you want to talk about it, Ben?
First of all, this game comes out on my birthday, so hello to that. I can't wait. And then, second of all,
it's Kismet.
This game is absolutely adorable. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer yet, but it's got tons of customization options for your Keywe. You can change everything from the color of their feet to the furriness of their feet to the looks on them. You can give them Hawaiian t-shirts. You can make them look like punk rockers. You can put hats on them. You can
Like
put
witch
glasses
hats?
on them. Yes, you can put witch hats on them. There's even a Halloween-themed version of the post office witchly.
I'm
It's gonna be
sold.
great. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. And basically, like the puzzle, like having to use that it's kind of similar to the unification, the back and forth gameplay of games like Brothers or It Takes Two. Actually, you guys are big fans of that game. You have to use both Keywe's in order to create like basically a symbiosis between each other as you deliver the mail. There's going to be all kinds of hazards that get in your way, like storks who are trying to deliver babies and they'll crack eggs over your skull, or even silly things like the weather, where the weather actually snows in your controls on the mail carrier, and you have to clear them off with the Keywe's and then go back and then press the buttons. So it's a very fast-paced, arcadey style type game where you have to work in unison, similar to Overcooked. Actually, you guys are big fans of that game. So yes, it's going to be amazing. The humor looks great. The characters look great. The animation looks wonderful. It's coming out on my freaking birthday. By the way, Amazon.com/BenLegend if you want to buy it for me. Just kidding. It's gonna be perfect. And hopefully we play it on the channel. It's gonna be tons of fun.
Well, I think we're gonna have to, because Taylor is already like, yes, we have to play this thing. As soon as she saw the trailer, she was all for it. So.
And now that I know there's a Halloween theme,
yeah, we'll definitely
gotta do it.
And we can even save the Halloween stuff for maybe even October.
Let's do it.
All right, then I guess that's it for Keywe. Anything else you want to say about Honey?
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
I'm gonna be playing it.
Well, we'll look for that, guys, on August 31st, Ben's birthday. And if you guys want to send it his way, do the Amazon link thing. I'll leave it in the show notes. But until then, well, let's carry on to the next game. Ben, you want to say what it is?
Yes, I do believe we're going with is a Chernobylite, correct?
Yes, the console launch for it. This has already been on PC for I think a year or so already. I think.
Yeah, it's been there for quite a while.
Okay.
It's basically like a survival style horror game set in Chernobyl, where you go back after losing a family member around 30 years ago, and for some reason they're looking for their partner 30 years ago. I don't think that would probably be a very viable option considering the level of nuclear radiation in that place, but still, it seems like a very emotional storyline. The graphics are amazing. I don't know if you've seen them on the Xbox S and Xbox Series X trailers, but the level of ray tracing, the graphical packages for the grass, just the weather effects, the otherworldly effects that take place in the game, it gives a very X-Files-ish alien type feel to the game, and it's gonna be crazy. It's almost like if Fallout just went into the real world, and it's gonna be just. I think it's gonna be a very dark and mysterious romp through the actual Chernobyl, because from what I remember, these guys actually went into the heart of Chernobyl and did like photographic. They took pictures and they did their homework, and they basically mapped out every little bit of Chernobyl that they could.
Well, that's so interesting. Yeah, it kind of sounds like if Metroid had not Metroid, Metro, like the Metroid. It sounds like the Metro series if it had a baby. So it sounds really interesting.
All right. Yeah, it does really sound interesting, but I don't know what you just said.
Is it like an asymmetric game, or is it first person, third person? What are we talking here? As I've not seen any of the trailer.
It's first person.
Okay.
The voice acting is actually really well done. Like the character models and everything, like the way they talk are really well done. There's a lot of looting. There's some survival. There's some survival aspects. Like you have to build up your base. You can upgrade your base. There's a limited amount of weapons, but you can take those weapons and then eventually you get stronger. I believe there's like a Tesla-inspired weapon, like an electricity-inspired weapon. There's different types of mutated foliage and fauna, things like that that'll test your skills. And over and all, it seems to be a very dark and engrossing trek through an actual, photorealistic version of Chernobyl. And I cannot, for one, wait to see how that is going to play out. I've heard early reports on it, what it plays like. Hopefully, it translates to console well. I know that the PC version got pretty high marks. So it's just a matter of just checking it out and seeing if it lives up to the hype.
Yeah, it sounds like right up my alley because I love the Metro series, and this sounds just my cup of tea. So that comes out September 7th on Xbox and PlayStation finally. So just keep a lookout for that, guys. Next one on the list we're going to be doing is Lost in Random, which comes out September 10th on Xbox, PC, PlayStation. This is actually from the developers that did the game Fee.
I got so lost in that game I actually quit.
But EA does this thing where they kind of do this like EA Originals thing where they this is the same thing they do with It Takes Two with that studio where they publish it. They publish with these indie developers, and this is one of the indie developers they publish with EA Originals, and it's an action RPG with a unique dice battle combat which blends real-time action with turn-based tactics. It has this amazing art style. It has this like dark, grim fairy tale-esque, art with like, and it looks like all the characters are like stop motion with Tim Burton-esque art, So
yes, my favorite art style.
It looked right up our alley. It looks really interesting. What do you want to say about it, Witchley?
It's right up my alley. I actually keep forgetting about this game for some reason. So every time he brings it up, I'm like, what? Oh, yeah.
Well, Ben, do you know anything about the Lost in Random game that's coming out soon?
The combat is going to be amazing because you have to use the combination between the dice and the main character's slingshot, and the thing is that you have to learn how to take that dice roll and use it to your advantage, because it can either give you buffs or it can damage you in the long run. You have to use both of her offensive moves in tandem and learn how to work the dice and basically learn how to deal with random numbers, as the game implies. Like I said, the art style is very Tim Burton-esque inspired. It is right up Witchy's alley as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the art. And the gameplay is going to be very difficult to master, but I do believe that it'll be very satisfying once you learn how to master the art of the dice. And there's supposed to be dice upgrades and elemental upgrades, and the story itself is so heartwarming, and it makes you feel for the main character because of it basically deals once again with loss and tragedy and trying to find that significant other and deal with the evil within and take back what's yours. I can't personally wait to see how that game's going to play. It's definitely a unique take on basic combat. I can't wait to see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm really excited. It sounds like it has a lot of RNG elements that will change the game up quite a bit when you're playing, with different, with other people playing it might have a different experience in how they deal with the dice system. So that sounds really interesting. I can't wait to try it out. It sounds right up Witchley's alley. So that's why when I saw it, I was like, we have to try this out. So I can't wait. That's September 10th. That's coming on Xbox consoles, PC, PlayStation. Keep a lookout. But we're going to keep continuing. We are not even done yet. You want to say the next one, Ben? This was your pick too, as well as ours.
I do believe it was. Are we doing Deathloop?
Oh shoot! You're right. I think that's your pick. Oh, no, wait. I know. Wait, let me see. Yeah, that is it. Yep, that's the one. Sorry, I have my notes everywhere.
Deathloop is the newest game from Arcane Studios, and it is going to be quite the trip, because it is basically what happens when you're an assassin trying to uncover the the darkness of your past, but you're also being hunted by someone else who is also trying to escape the death loop as well. But unfortunately, every time one of you kill each other, the death loop restarts, and that's where the story becomes convoluted and it becomes more and more interesting as time goes on. You have to kill a number of assassins in the game in order to find out the truth of what's going on, but you're being hunted at every turn. So it's definitely going to be an interesting take on Arcane's normal combat gameplay, which was popularized by Dishonored and games like Prey. Going to be quite the interesting round.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting concept, especially the fact that it's a sort of like a two-player PvP kind of situation where one of you is in there, doing the objectives, but the other person is stopping you at the same time from stopping your own objectives so they can do their own objectives. So I think that's kind of interesting. An interesting take. I haven't played much of the Dishonored series, but I have played the first one, and yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with this. And you said they did Prey as well?
Yes. Arcane Studios did do the first-person shooter Prey. That game itself was quite interesting. It actually had several different endings, and the overall tone of that game was really well done. It was actually based off of an earlier franchise that I think the Typhon Studios had, and they basically just picked up the name and redid the lore on it, which was really good. I personally loved it. As far as Deathloop goes, it looks like it's going to be like a real intense back and forth battle, because if you're with that other character, that, like I said, that other character's trying to hunt you every step of the way, and you're just trying to figure out what's going on, and it could be game over for you in 2 seconds if you get bucked by a headshot. But luckily, you do have special abilities. It's similar to the Dishonored games. Like there's a ability called the Shift, which is like the blink in Dishonored. I don't know if you've played or are familiar with the Dishonored series.
I have.
Grace?
Yes, I have.
Okay, yeah. So you know the teleport ability. Mm-hmm. It's called Shift in this one instead of the blink. And there's similar gameplay tropes that are a staple of most Arcane Studios titles, but this PvP aspect is definitely going to change a lot of that and make people. It's going to be more intense. You never know when your doom is coming around the corner, or you never know when that guy is going to get that last shot right before you kill the guy on your contract. So it's a lot. It's going to be very heavy, intense gameplay. Like I said, it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what it's going to look like.
Well, it does sound like it's going to be intense, but very interesting. What console is this coming out?
This is going to come out on September 14th, and it is a PlayStation exclusive, and it's also going to come to PC as well. I don't know I know with the whole acquisition with Bethesda on Xbox or Microsoft, I don't know if it's ever going to come over there. I don't know what the contract is, but I know at the time right now it's just PlayStation PC. So, yeah, that's it. Keep a lookout, guys. If you have, I think it's going to be on PS4 and PS5. So I don't know if it's just next gen only, unless Ben, if you know.
What's that?
That if the game is coming out on PS4 and PS5, or is it just next gen only?
I think that the game is actually. It was one of those games that I believe is going to be, it's a timed console exclusive. I know it's coming to PlayStation 5. It's most likely going to come to the new gen consoles after that window closes, similar to what they did with games like Tomb Raider and other ones that had like a timed exclusive. Once that exclusivity period is up, then it's most likely going to come to Xbox and other consoles as well.
Moving on, we have coming up. What do we got, Witchley?
Kena, Verge of Spirits. It's coming out September 21st on PC, PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5. It's an action-adventure game. It has unique companion mechanics. It's a story-driven game where you find and grow a team known as the Rot. They, as Craze is pointing out right now, they look like soot sprites. Who maintain balance by decomposing dead and rotting elements. You build your own team, you explore, and you fight. Do you, Crazed, have anything you want to say about this?
Well, I'm really excited about Kenna because that's how you say Kenna, right? Kenna, not Kenya. I keep saying Kenya. So
it's Kenna.
It's Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. It was originally supposed to come out in August, but it got delayed at the very end, I think a couple of weeks later into September. So it's September 21st, and it looks so great. I love the art style. It has like this blend of, a Pixar film meets like a Studio Ghibli film finally that I never thought we'd get, and then it has like these amazing cute creatures known as the Rot that look like suit sprites, like you said. So it just looks so cute, and I really love the idea of this companion mechanic where you kind of build up your team of suit sprites, and you kind of like you navigate and solve puzzles with your team as you're doing stuff, and it kind of gives me like kind of Pikmin vibes. Ben, do you want to elaborate on this?
Yeah, it actually it's been on my radar for a little bit ever since I've seen the trailer. The gameplay itself actually reminds me of a nostalgic game that you're probably familiar with, Grace, and that would be Pikmin. Pikmin, you basically gather a team of little alien creatures to do your bidding, and this seems like it's going to have that same type of flow and that vibe. The graphics are absolutely adorable. I can't wait to see them in action. The combat, besides playing with the little creatures to battle the Rot, it feels very Zelda-ish, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. The combat is very timing based and back and forth, and it looks like it's going to be quite the open source romp that I just can't wait to try out. It looks very wholesome, very adorable. You're right about the whole Pixar thing. It looks like it's going to be a very animated, just a huge adventure that I can't wait to see what it's like. It's going to be unique to itself, and with the new graphics capabilities of these new consoles, it's going to be great, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do. Do you want to talk about any more about Kenna?
Oh, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing from the art style and stuff, and I can't wait to see what they do with the technologies they have now. And this is like one game that I'm excited for that's on the PlayStation consoles right now, because their holiday's kind of looking a little bare, as opposed to like first party or games that they have exclusivity on. So I'm really excited for Kenna. That's going to be a really interesting game. September 21st, guys, on PC, PS4, and PS5. Keep an eye out. Now, on to the next one. We have coming up on September 23rd, Sable, which is a game we played on the Xbox Game Summerfest demos. It was a really interesting concept on it. I love the art style. It has this open world exploration, the likes of like Breath of the Wild mechanics. Has this amazing solid color palette with borderline cell shading approach that lends well to the game's vast desert landscapes and mysterious rooms that you explore, while also on your hover bike occasionally that spews like this amazing dense clouds of smoke and dust. It just looks amazing with this entire art style, which is what drew us in when we played the demo. And I just love the exploration and how vast it is, where you can just go anywhere in this like vast sandbox, pun intended. What do you think about Sable, Ben? Have you seen our demo of it on the channel, or have you known about this game for a while?
I'm not too privy to the actual game itself. I have seen you guys play it. Did see the demo. It looks gorgeous. It actually brings back vibes with the game I'm sure you're familiar with. Because of the sand and desert aesthetic Journey. I know that you're familiar with Journey.
I am.
I think it's gonna. I think that it's gonna be so wonderful to see a game of that type try to challenge the norms of what a open world game will be. Usually, when you're in an open world game, you think about freedom, but when it comes to a desert world aspect like that, where it's extremely open, a vast open world, but with nobody in it, you feel constricted. You feel alone. You feel like you have nothing to turn to or nobody to help you. So I like to see how that game is going to play out with that type of aesthetic, and hopefully it will open up a whole new genre in that particular type of game, and maybe more people will explore it as time goes on. But otherwise, it looks like it's going to be a fun romp, man. I can't wait to see how it plays. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and I love that we're finally getting these games that are kind of taking the Breath of the Wild approach, finally, because, that game's been out for 4 years. I was hoping more people would take this approach where they finally have, this open world exploration where you can go over there and go up and climb that mountain, and you can do that. I just love that now we're getting those games after so long with that Breath of the Wild itch. And, we had games like Immortal Phoenix Rising have that kind of, mechanics. And now we have Sable, which is, I know it's an indie game, but, it's having that same itch. At least it's giving me that same itch, especially when playing it during the Xbox Game Fest demos a month or so back.
Right. And it expands on things like that. Like, I was thinking about, like, it's weird how after all these years of open world video games, Nintendo took that genre and flipped it on its head with Breath of the Wild. If you wanted to go sit on top of that mountain in your underwear and pet a goat, you could. If you wanted to get fried by lightning while you're in the middle of a battle, you can. If you wanted to cook a terrible meal and throw it at an enemy and then watch them vomit, you can. There's so many different types of things that you could, that the accessibility of that game opens so many eyes to what open world games can be. And to have this type of a scenario where, like I said, you're in an open world, but there's nothing there until it is. How is that going to make you feel? How is that going to evoke? What kind of emotions is that going to evoke? Is it going to evoke a sense of loneliness? Is it going to evoke a sense of a restriction as opposed to being able to breathe and feel like you can escape at any time? It's going to be great, man. I can't wait to see it.
Well, that will come out September 23rd on Xbox and PC. I think it's also Game Pass, but don't quote me on that. Witchley, is there anything else you want to say about Sable that you enjoyed about when playing the demo and stuff?
Pleasing art style. It was something different.
And we also had Hilda.
Yes. Because I'm bad at reading, apparently.
Yeah, we had a funny NPC that we were talking to, and we thought the name was Hilda, but it was actually an entirely different name. So we just called him Hilda the entire time. It was really fun. So, but that is Sable. Now, moving on, coming out on October 7th? 7th? Or isn't it? October 7th?
That's right.
What do we got, Ben?
Oh my God. This game I've been waiting for forever, man. It's the sequel to the sequel to the sequel to the sequel to the sequel. But it's well worth the wait. With Ubisoft, man, they usually kill it with games, or just kill their games. RIP Assassin's Creed. But this time around, it's going to be better than ever, because after Far Cry 3, they managed to find their own niche into this amazing open world shooter style gameplay by making the villains the stars of the show. You want to be the bad guy so bad when you play Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. You love their characters, the encompassment, the way that these guys breathe onto the screen. And now, but two words, and I was already sold. I bought it on pre-order, and literally the minute I found out who the bad guy was. And it is Giancarlo Esposito. I don't know if you know that name very well, but he was Gus in Breaking Bad.
Oh.
And that is all you need to know about this amazing game. But I'm going to keep talking about it because it's great. Because he is literally the leader of a dictatorship, and you have to topple his regime. And you play as one of the revolutionaries in order to stop his maniacal reign of terror. But the whole idea is that he's also trying to coerce his son into becoming the radical like himself. But I do believe as time goes on the game, you can also try to sway that his child into becoming a revolutionary just like him. But the gameplay is amazing. The gunplay is absolutely insane. There is a gun in the game that you could craft that plays La Macarena while you kill someone. That is absolutely wonderful. I can't wait. And then the best part is there is a little doggy named Chorizo who has no legs, but he has a little cart he rides on in, and he brings you guns. That's adorable.
Well, that sounds like the best part.
This Far Cry sounds insane. Like, I haven't jumped on to Far Cry that much since, like, 3 and Blood Dragon. Because of I love the villain. It's the villains that do it for me, and I know they've added villains in 4 and 5. You know, from a pagan cult, a pagan leader to a cult leader in 5. But you know, like, I love Voss. Voss is so great. As a villain in 3, which is why that's what drew me in, and I think the 6th one is going to drive me in even further because it's Gus. You know, it is the Gus as the villain. So, and the way your enthusiasm for this game, I mean, it's selling me already, and I haven't played much of the Far Cry series in quite a bit, so I'm really sold.
No, it's funny that you mentioned that because Voss is actually a character in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
I know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, he plays Nacho, which is he does an excellent job. So the Far Cry series has so many ties to my favorite television show of all time, and it's just this one just looks like it's just a balls to the wall, amazing, revolutionary romp, and I personally can't wait for it. You could even get a pet alligator who can eat people for you, and you could put little hats on the alligator. Come on, man, that's amazing.
I'm sold, especially with the hats. So
I'm sold with the alligator.
That's perfect, and the wiener dog you were talking about with with the no legs
dog.
Yeah, with on a wheelchair or something, like with wheels.
His name is Chorizo, and he's adorable.
Well, that is Far Cry 6. Anything you want to say about it, Witchley?
No,
I know you're not privy to the Far Cry series.
I don't know it very well, so I'll just leave it to you experts.
All right. Well, October 7th is when it comes out. Xbox, PC, PlayStation consoles. Look for it. But the next day after that, guys, we have Metroid Dread. Now, I'm not privy to all of the Metroid series because I didn't play all of them, but I started playing them in the in the GameCube series when they had Metroid Prime out, you know, with the first-person Samus stuff, you know, and then you get to roll into a ball in third person. I love doing that in the GameCube era, but you probably know more about Metroid Dread than I, Ben, and me and Witchley we don't know that much about Metroid, so how about you chime in on this one?
Sorry. My throat is rebelling against me. I don't usually talk this much. So basically what it is that this is going to be a direct sequel to the events of Metroid Fusion. The parasites, there was a lethal parasite on that planet, which basically infected Samus's suit, the Varia suit. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with her armor. And what it did is it infected her costume in that game, and it created a doppelganger of her that she had to destroy. Well, when she left the planet, she thought that she had annihilated all the parasites there, but apparently the Galactic Federation receives a video transmission that the X units are still alive, and they dispatch a bunch of robots to the source of the transmission. Well, during the events of Metroid Dread, the robots vanish. They don't respond to the Galactic Federation. So the premise of this game is that Samus goes to investigate what happens. Well, apparently the X parasite finds its way and takes over these highly destructible and robots, and Samus has to destroy them. But the X parasite is more durable than ever, and she has to use new abilities and traverse through the world very lightly until she gathers enough strength to be able to combat these robots. She goes after them right now, she's gonna get turned into mush. So there's actually some horror elements to this one, which is kind of new for the franchise. There was a little bit of scary moments in Metroid Corruption, where you had to fight a dark version of yourself, and Metroid Fusion kind of amplified on that because the SAX, your doppelganger, it hunted you. It hunted you similar to the Nemesis in Resident Evil 3, and you could not attack it until you found enough strength to combat it into the end of the game. So this is going to bring that horror style element to Nintendo Switch, and I think that's amazing. Like, I love when classic franchises take risks like that. Similar to, like I was saying earlier, Resident Evil 4. They took a risk with the fourth over the shoulder camera view, and it won. People love that action style, and then they took another risk, and then they made it first person with Resident Evil 7, and it just works. So I can't wait to see if this horror element brings a whole new side to Metroid that people haven't seen, and I can't. It's going to be great. Like, I love everything Metroid. I love traversing through the world. I love going back and getting power ups. I love finding hidden stuff. I could play that crap all day long. You know me well, Craze. You know that I'm obsessed with games like Bloodstained. They have that Metroidvania feel. It's great. It's just great.
Yeah, I'm excited that Metroid is finally coming to the Switch. I mean, the last thing we had was on the 3DS with Metroid Samus Returns. So it's nice, and it's the same developers too. So I'm glad they're getting another chance to shine and show off what the Switch can do with a Metroid series. So I'm really interested. I'm going to keep my eye out for it because it's also coming out with the SWOLED Switch. That's what people are calling online now.
You were lucky enough to pre-order one.
I was lucky enough to pre-order one because this comes out around my birthday, and I really wanted a new Switch. That way we have two in our house. That way we both have one to play with. So it's gonna be nice. I can't wait. I might have to snag Dread with it because that will probably be easy to get as opposed to getting the SWOLED if they're selling out like constantly. But I'm excited. Anything you want to say about the Metroid series? I know you're not privy to it as much,
I'm good.
But it sounds interesting, though.
Yes,
right?
it does sound very
especially the horror elements. Yeah. I mean, it sounds interesting. I can't wait.
If you make a game scary, then I would love to watch it.
Well, it's on my radar. It's on Ben's radar.
And the thing is, I'm just including a little extra tidbit. The thing is that haven't had a Metroid in years, and the last major Metroid release besides Returns was, it was Other M. And Team Ninja absolutely shit all over that franchise. And there are some people that love that game. There are some people that absolutely hate that game. I am obviously in the latter because the whole aspect of that game turned Samus into a cold, unfeeling soldier. She is a mercenary, but she also cares. And that game ruined the whole aspect of the series for a lot of people, and hopefully Metroid Dread returns that classic Metroid gameplay with that added horror element back to the series, and it is going to be, hopefully it'll be amazing. And one last thing about the game, sorry to take up so much time on it, I'm a huge Metroid fan, is the Amiibo, which I don't know if you knew about, Grace.
Yeah, they have 2 Amiibo coming out for the Samus and then the Robot Killer. They look really cool. Like, I was when you showed them to me, I was like, okay, I might want these. But then those sell out like hotcakes too.
Pretty sure that they're going to disappear. They actually don't have them up for sale yet. I don't believe. I don't think there was any pre-orders either for this particular one. It will drop the same day as Metroid Dread and the SWOLED. So if you get a shot, Grace, I would definitely pick them up if you get a chance because those bad boys are going disappear.
And I know there's a limited edition for Metroid Dread, right? There's a limited edition, like special edition for the game. Yeah. I don't know what is that coming with.
Yes, I think it comes with some decals. I know that there is a steelbook that comes with it.
Nice.
I'm not too. Yeah, I'm not too sure what the other contents, but I do know there is a steelbook edition that comes with it. So far, that's all I'm privy to, but it looks beautiful. So I can't wait to see, what it looks like physically. Nintendo games are literally the only games that you still want to collect physically. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I mean, anything I have is physical on Nintendo. I don't know why. It's just like it just feels nostalgic just to have something to put in my Nintendo console. Still, I don't know why.
It's that weird dichotomy, and I feel you on that, because when it comes to PlayStation 5 and Xbox, you want to get you still want to get physical copies of stuff sometimes, but it's so easier to access digitally. But with Nintendo, it's that special feeling you get when you have a physical copy of a Nintendo game in your hands that just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And the same thing applies to Nintendo branded products. Amiibo, like a Cat Mario or a Cat Peach, or a Skyloft character.
All those that you mentioned that you gave us, yes. Well, that is Metroid Dread, everybody. That comes out on October 8th, only on Switch. So it sounds like Ben is really, really excited for it, and I'm a little interested now, especially with the Amiibo. Real quick, what does the Amiibo support do, or like the new Amiibos do, Ben?
I don't think they revealed the abilities for each one yet. My guess is it probably gives you something armor related for Samus. Now, I would love to know what the robot version does. That'd be pretty cool. But they have not revealed yet what they do in the game. So I'm not sure.
All right, well, then we'll find out when we get a little bit closer. And it comes out with the SWOLED Switch console. So nab them both up at the same time if you want. I'm going to be doing the Switch. And you can expect an unboxing when that comes out. So carrying on, though, the day after my birthday is Back for Blood. You want to talk about that one, Ben?
Back for Blood, I'm both scared and interested for, because I don't know if you know who the developer of this particular game is.
Turtle Rock Studios.
Correct. And I don't know if you remember their previous entry into this video game format.
Well, they originally worked with Valve on the Left 4 Dead series, which is amazing. Love those two games. And then they branched out and they did Evolve, which was a great concept of a 4v1,
Right.
I love the concept, but it just didn't stick,
It was terrible. And the reason why is because they mismanaged the microtransactions in that game. There were microtransactions that were almost $30 for a skin. That's ridiculous. And they botched that whole game so bad that even when they finally managed to patch all the digital wounds that they carved out of it was just too much. And now they have this. They're basically going back to what they know, but I'm just worried, because even though it looks amazing, it's a lot more slower gameplay than Left 4 Dead was. It's kind of a more graphically upgraded Call of Duty-ish style type game. I'm just worried because I don't know if people is going to enjoy the card system. The card system is going to be a little hard to understand, and the loot system and things of that nature. But I do want to play it. That's not saying that I don't want to, because I actually couldn't play Left 4 Dead because the death perception in that game actually got me extremely sick. It's a rare situation that happens in certain games when you're playing them. I actually can't play Twisted Metal Black because of that situation.
Okay.
It makes me violently ill. So I couldn't play the Left 4 Dead series, and but I am looking forward to this one because it looks like it will be something that is like vastly upgraded and not as PC-ish. I don't know how to explain that really, but I didn't like the way that the mechanics worked in Left 4 Dead. Like I said, they were very fast-paced, and I didn't want to hurl my guts out every time I played it. So I'm going to give this one a chance, but Turtle Rock Studios, they are not on my radar right now.
Well, I love the Left 4 Dead series. I'm hoping this will be like their comeback, And you're right, the Evolve thing didn't work out well, but I feel like them going back to their roots is the best case scenario than trying something new again. And I'm interested to see. I know the beta's out right now, the open beta, so if anyone's playing that right now, leave it in the comments below and let us know how it is. I haven't personally played it yet. I do know about the card system. Card system sounds amazing. Or a good interest, like amazingly interesting as apart from the Left 4 Dead style shooting and zombies and stuff. And I love the PvP style of those games where you could just be the zombies and fight the survivors while they're trying to do their objective and you're just trying to destroy them. So I love that concept. I'm interested to see. We'll keep a distance. We'll keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out. See what they're doing. And that comes out on October 12th on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. So keep an eye out on that. On to the next one. Do you want to talk about it, Ben? Because I know you're excited for it, and I am too.
Oh my God, are you ready to tickle your pickle? It's Battlefield 2042, baby. Oh, I can't wait.
Battlefield's back.
It is back, and it is bigger than ever. It's just a big honking Texas side sandwich of meat and bullets and destruction. Good Lord. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Just the graphics, the playability, how many people can play on the server at one time, the weather effects, everything. Battlefield is going balls to the wall, all out. This time, hopefully, it'll be better than anything that Battlefield 5 or could ever produce. Because, God, Jesus, that game was total ass. I'm talking about ass that hasn't been wiped in years. Christ, that game was terrible. But now this game, they've made up with all of their attritions, and I can't wait to see exactly how big these battles are going to be. I mean, there's literally the maps are so huge. You could have several wars in one pocket of the map, and then literally after you're done winning that area, you can go to a whole other area of that map and then engage in another total war. It's going to be so much chaos, but in such a compact and an amazing way to play it. I can't wait to team up with you and murderize some idiots online, man. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so fun. I found that the Battlefield games have been more up my alley because of the realism and the levolution that they call it is just like the destructibility in those games over the Call of Duty franchise. I know a lot of people love Call of Duty over Battlefield or vice versa, but I'm more of the Battlefield just because you have all the vehicles and you have all this destruction, and I love that DICE engine that they use, or the Frostbite engine that they use for how everything is destroyed and like you can collapse buildings and stuff is just so interesting, and them taking it into the future 20 years into it, that as of now is really interesting. I can't wait to see what they do with it. And the dynamic weathering effects where like a tornado or a sandstorm can come in while you're in Dubai and you can't see anything, or like it'll topple over a building. It's so interesting. I love it, and it makes like the terrain so much different where you have to just acclimate yourself and try to adjust while you're also doing all these objectives at the same time. I find that interesting. I love it. I know Witch Lady doesn't have a 2 cents on this one because half the games we've been talking about now is just not been you don't really have a 2 cents on.
I don't really know much anything about it. So.
But they're pretty interesting, right?
Well, it's fun listening to you guys talk about it.
Just so you know, Witch Lady's still here.
I'm pretty sure if she saw the graphics, she'd be interested a little bit. I know that these broy type shooters aren't necessarily for everyone, but me and Connor, we're creaming at the pants, man, for this one. This one's gonna be huge, man. And he and me and him are definitely gonna play a couple of rounds, maybe for a Rumble. Sounds pretty good.
I would be fine with that. Maybe get some Elven Donut in there too, so we have a 3 squad. We squatted up,
The G3 going into Battlefield sounds like an excellent episode, my friend.
Well, that sounds all interesting. That comes out on October 22nd on Xbox, PC, PlayStation. No word yet on if it's coming to Game Pass. I thought it was going to be announced, or because I know EA Access, their digital subscription service, is on Xbox, so I don't know. I know Battlefield's swinging more on Microsoft's side as like has Call of Duty has been in the past few years with PlayStation. So I'm interested to see if they're going to have some kind of deal where it might come on Xbox through EA Access or something. So it'll be interesting, and it'll be a really nice way to kind of scoop up this holiday season with Microsoft, because they are killing it with some of these games that are like. Because by the way, going back to Back 4 Blood, that's going to be on Game Pass at launch, so that's going to be interesting too. So they're really scooping up some stuff. But let's carry on, and I'll have Witchley talk about this one. This one's coming out on October 28th.
What is it? Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater, coming out on Xbox, PC, Switch, PlayStation. It originally came out in 2014 on the Wii U. Fifth entry in the series. Survival horror, Japanese horror, camera mechanics. Carry on.
That's my cliff notes. I'm sorry, but yes, it's coming out on the Switch, Xbox, PC, all the consoles now, because it was originally on the Wii U. I have never played a Fatal Frame series before, or Fatal Frame game in the series before. This would be our first one, but seeing it on the trailers and recently, I'm like, this has to be on our October lineup, because this sounds interesting. I've been itching for kind of a Japanese horror game for a while, so I think this is up our alley, and I do love these camera mechanics that they have in the series, where you have to take photos of the ghosts, or you have to use your camera to spot them, and also like use it for your survival. So I don't know. I know you could probably go a little bit more into detail, Benjamin, about the series. Have you played the series before? We haven't. This would be a first one for us.
It is. It's actually a very long-running franchise. It started off on the PlayStation 1, and it's been growing ever since. The reason why they moved it to Nintendo and Wii U is because of the interactivity that you could have with the Wii controls, and especially the Wii U gamepad, because the gamepad can act like a camera that you could take photos with and hold up to the television, which was a level of interactivity that we haven't seen in the franchise for quite a while. It's definitely a unique take on different survival horror, because it goes off the Japanese folklore that if you take a picture of somebody, you will take their soul. You'll absorb their soul and kill them. So basically what you're doing is you're kind of like a paranormal exorcist. You play as usually it's either one girl or two girls, like this set of sisters, and you go through these haunted mansions and these haunted areas, and you basically exorcise these ghosts from this area. But the ghosts can actually hurt you and attack you if you're not on point. There's different levels of taking the photos of them, and what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to basically release these people back, into the ether and heal their souls. But it's definitely got a lot of jump scares to it. It's scary as hell. And this remake that they're doing from the Wii U version, hopefully it'll bring prominence back to the series, because they really haven't had much since that game. And I actually don't think there's been another release since that one, if I'm not mistaken. So,
yeah, I mean, that's 2014 for the Wii U, so that's like that's about 6 or 7 year gap. So I'm interested to see if this will revitalize the series and maybe do more and go into interesting directions now that it's coming to other consoles too, and not just Switch. So I'm really excited for it, and I think it's going to be on our October lineup for Halloween. So look out for that. Anything else you want to say about it, honey?
Well, as long as we can hear you scream, I think everybody will be happy.
Perfect. That's what we like to hear, right? That my screams?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Your pain is the internet's pleasure, bro.
We are on the last one, and I'll let Ben close us out with this last game on our list, and that comes out in December.
Yeah, it is going to be the final game, and it is also going to be probably my second most anticipated game of 2021, provided it doesn't get delayed at the last minute. Stop pissing off everybody about bologna sandwiches crazed.
Sorry.
And that is Dying Light 2 stay human. Why the hell that tagline is added to the game, I have no idea. I mean, you're supposed to be human in the game to begin with. Anyway, basically, it is it takes place in the future from the zombie infested infestation of Horizon from the first game, and it deals with the basically the apocalypse after everything has been overrun, and now we're living in a dystopian society. This game is going to be awesome on several levels because it takes the parkour style gameplay of the first one and overhauls it completely. It's going to be fluid. The game is going to be so crisp. I don't know if anybody's seen the actual trailers lately, but it's going to be a huge upgrade over the first one, and I can't wait to see how it all comes together, because you're basically gonna be like a runner for these certain factions, and every time you do something that alters the state of the actual open world, like there's moments where like in the gameplay trailer, you have to take over a water plant. Well, if you drain the water from this particular area of the map in order to gain water for the citizens that have no water, well, they'll start to improve their lives, and their shops will be more available, and you'll be able to get different kinds of items from them. But you will find out very soon that the area that you drained in order to get that water unleashes a whole new enemy, a whole new type of waterlogged zombie that cannot be killed by normal means. So there's different types of levels of dichotomy in the game to where you need to be serious about your choices and who you're helping, because if you don't, you could end up triggering a whole new apocalypse. So it's definitely going to be an interesting take on what choice-based gameplay is, along with normal, like the normal parkour gameplay of the first one. I don't know if you're privy to the original craze, but it was great. And that's why, and the best part about it was that the creators of the game, Techland, they still support this game to now. Like, I think the latest update for Dying Light was merely a few months ago, and they've come out with all kinds of updates for this game 5 years in. So it shows you how much dedication these guys have to their video games. And I love a developer that has that, similar to CD Projekt Red before, sorry, 26. But anyway, it's that the dedication that makes you want to play these games.
Yeah, I mean, I played the first game in 2014. It was really nice. It was a launch title, or at least close to the launch title, or a launch game for the new gen consoles. So I was really excited when it came out, and I love that they had multiplayer, and you could have and I do love the parkour mechanics that they have. So, and I do love that they're kind of, and I mean, I don't like the subtitle of Stay Human. I just wish they just called it Dying Light 2, but that's just my opinion. But I really like how they're kind of focusing on the human elements in this game, as opposed to, I know they did a little bit of that in the first game, and they had all the zombie plague and stuff, and I'm really interested to see how they do this human side of it, where you go through factions and everything, and you deal with that, and the outcomes and the decision making that you choose, and how that affects other factions in this new game. I'm really interested, and yeah, I love that they've been keeping this series close to them, and that they've been able to support it for, especially the first game. I mean, they just made I think a couple months ago they did Hell Raid, which was like this arcade cabinet style medieval, swinging at a zombie, not zombies anymore, but like skeletons and stuff. So I find that interesting that they keep updating the first game, and I'm interested to see how much they're going to do with the second game when that comes out at the end of the year, if it stays on its December 7th release date,
So it's definitely going to be an interesting game, and I hope that the multiplayer for it is just as good as the original. I would love to play this game with you. It will be a fun, absolutely fun, just zombie killing spree. I can't wait to see, if there's any new multiplayer modes. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to tap into that visceral side of that game, and just go through it and see exactly what the storyline is going to be like. We've yet to see any information on the sadly forgotten Dead Island 2 that they're working on. I know that they pushed that to another developer, but hopefully this will be just as good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Dying Light 2, and that is coming out December 7th on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation consoles. That is it for all of our games. Wow, that was a lot of them, right?
Indeed.
So many.
It's a smorgasbord.
I know you didn't get a lot of time in here, Wishley, and I'm sorry that you didn't get to really talk about these last bit, but hopefully you enjoyed the conversation. So, man, that was a lot. And some of them, we can honorably mention some that haven't had a release date. If you have any, Ben, do you have any on the top of your head that it might be coming out this year that doesn't have a release date concrete yet? As an example, I'm really excited for Halo Infinite, but they just keep saying holiday 2021. So, they don't have a concrete date, but I'm really excited for that game. Is there any honorable mention you want to say?
Kind of looking forward to this crazy abandoned situation. I want to see where that's going. I know that we both have our about it. I know that it's driving us both crazed, but it's definitely gonna either be one of the best reveals in video game history or the biggest fuck yous we've ever seen. And I know that you're done with it. I know that you tried to wash your hands with it, but it's still a very valid talking point, and I'm still hooked, man. I want to know where this is going. If it is indeed a new Silent Hills or a new Metal Gear or a new, I don't know, Hello Kitty magical adventure, whatever it is, it's gonna be great. So
I'm interested to see where it goes. I just think they have been milking it too much. That's my opinion, though. But
doesn't that tell you something about it, though?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about it. We're talking about it still, so that's something.
That's very true. And even though you've washed your hands with it, it is now officially in the podcast lore. So.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on Abandoned. Halo Infinite is one. Is there any that you want to mention, Witchley, that you're excited for at the end of the year that hasn't had a release date, if you know any?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that is it for our podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Ben, for joining us today. It was been really fun talking about video games with you.
Thank you guys so much. This has been an honor. I appreciate you guys letting me come on and join you on this wonderful cup of tea, and it's been amazing. And of course, that I'll definitely be there for more co-starring on our series that we're doing currently right now. I know that you've got quite a bit of them coming down the pike, man, and I can't wait to be a part of it. It's been an amazing year and a half. I think it's been close to 2 years since I've known you guys now, right?
Yeah, about that. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, man, you guys have shared in my ups and my downs, and I thank you so much for being part of my family, and I'm honored to be a part of yours, and I hope I get to come on for more episodes and see discuss some more topics, laugh together, cry together, doc something together, whatever you want.
Yeah, we would love to have you on future ones, whatever that may be. I don't know. We haven't decided on the next episode, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Witchley, do you want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
Good podcast?
Good podcast.
Good episode.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much, and happy 500th video on our channel for this one.
Woo!
I know, it's been crazy. It's amazing, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching everything that we've done so far, and we hit 500. Let's do another 500 more.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until then, guys, thank you guys so much. What games are you guys looking forward to by the end of the year? Please leave it on the comments below, and as always, if you guys enjoyed this video /podcast, please just keep subscribing and liking whatever you need to like just to keep us going. I wouldn't mind that. So until then, I'm Crazed,
and I'm Witchley,
and I'm Ben Legend, and you better ram your ass cheeks on that notification bell, damn it.
He means grumble on.
Yes, grumble on.